Well, this was a fun game with some real different beats and, swings to it that should be fun. I'm playing Fresh Air, continuing along with that, and we'll see how it goes. One of the things I'm focusing on a lot with Fresh Air, I'm not sure how much we'll see in this game, is playing around spectral armor. So now that Last Gasp, I love the fact that Last Gasp isn't in the game anymore. It makes, playing a Necro and understanding where your life force comes from and why, so much more active. Every lick of life force you get is because you've done something specific instead of, oh, I'm dying and getting life force and why kind of thing. Anyway, now that Last Gasp is gone, whenever I see a spectral armor up on a Necro, it feels really good to just completely off with the damage. Whether it's a Scourge or a Reaper, I don't really mind. If I'm denying them Shroud, obviously that's super high value. If I'm denying them lots of Shade skills, then I really like that too. It's nice to actually be able to drain them. And yeah, that's just one thing I've been focusing on. I'm not sure why I'm going into that full discussion here. I think it will come up a bit in this game, maybe. Anyway, yeah, we're going to have to play well here to squeeze out a good game, and we'll see how it goes. So we have our side-noting Soul Beast picking up close. If one of the Mirages had chosen to pick up close, he might have pushed far, and we would have had a three-way in mid. I actually had some good games here as well where I won, outnumbered mids as we pushed far and, just kind of that perfect opener, people holding off and going too deep until our close pointer pushes up. Anyway, looking on this mid, nobody's here. I'm a bit concerned mostly of the cliff to my left, which I don't have great visibility on when you're here. And obviously they could be pushing up from. So I got to make a decision here very quickly. Where do I go and what do I do? Because they're not going for a conventional open where they're competing for mid. I know that there's going to be two coming towards mid there, so that's at least a 2v2. And what I'm trying to do is see the numbers visually. I don't think the minimap's good enough. And I look and I only really see one nameplate, so I turn around and I think, well, is it mid? But I still only see two targets, and we should have equal numbers there. So I look back again, and that's what I'm trying to do. I don't necessarily... It's a solo queue, right? So in theory, maybe I could burst down at mid in the outnumber, and then once they've got a down, I can come up, and I can bank on the fact that my Soul Beast will sustain. But what I'm trying to do here is equal numbers. Now I'm seeing a lot of nameplates, but I don't really know, again, because it's Mesmer stuff. So, but whatever. I come in. I think that this is probably the best place to go. And immediately I see one of my guys has been forced to kite up round the side very well. And he's being aggressive, but he's low. You see how low he is? So I come up and my target is... So this is what I call, the line back, right? I'm making sure that... I actually get some counter pressure. And because this Mirage is dodged so much to do the damage, by the time I come in, I just got a full, maybe not a full, but a big air auto. And then we just use the skill 2 there. I mean, I Arcane Wave, and I didn't even really need to. Obviously, it gets a nice blind out. But yeah, and then I reassess the body, and I think, well, do I need to kill this to rally this guy maybe? But he's still alive, so I take the target off. And this is really good. This 3v3 now is going brilliantly because I've come in a little bit late and caught one of them with their pants down. I look at the Weaver here instead of the Hollow. Probably not a good idea. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm taking the Hollow. Hollow is going to be a lot more vulnerable and realistic of a kill, especially now with Auto S having been nerfed. When we got 3 players, we can push through the Elixir... What's it called? Elixir E? Is that what it is again? Or is it Elixir? No, Elixir B for Barrier. That's not true. B is already in the game, and you get it automatically as you lose in health. Anyway, we pressure the Hollow, and we know he's low, and he doesn't really have too many good escape options. So I cleave him down and go for the quick stomp, just in case it's needed, with Swirling Winds to make it safe. And it wasn't needed. Looking back towards mids, the 2v2 that I left these guys to deal with, they did good in. So check it out. They scored a kill. The other one's super low. I attach my lightning line to it, take the hands off the keyboard, watch where, or, my fingers off W, S, and D. I probably give you a really weird impression of what I do there. I obviously don't take my hands completely off. But anyway, yeah, just trying to make sure it can get the kill. The Scourge is really low, teleporting all over the place. So here I am trying to power through the Spectral Armor. So here, this down, I didn't realize this. Wait, was this the kill we scored earlier then in stealth? I think it was when I was stood here and I took my hands off the keyboard. It was actually a ranger, was it? Interesting. So it's a druid and he'd stealthed. Now, what I'm actually running here is Doom. So right now I'm on Cleansing and Doom. And Doom is 100% for these situations to slow down rezzes, because this doesn't really have good cleave. And what this means is I can, when I do my, dip out of air to come back in and get all my ferocity and stuff back, and the electric discharge, is I'm also slowing down the pet res here and whatever else. He immediately takes the stun on the daze on me. But yeah, so I don't think the poison was particularly relevant there, but it was something that I've swapped to, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, with that, we have now won close and mid, and it took a while to do, but we have now got that, so that's good. And you'll see that I've already positioned myself on the top of the cliff here to watch their respawns and rotate accordingly, either to close or to mid. No point in me pushing far here. Nobody's creating an opportunity for that anyway. And as soon as I get on the cliff, I see my ally actually pings. You can see the red ping is there on the minimap. So I press T to take target. It's a Mesmer who already has a portal established, which is kind of strange to me. Anyway, so here we just go for the Mob Pyroclastic Blast. No. Fracturing Strike. I always get those confused. How long has it been now? I suppose I've had a big break, so whatever. Anyway, go for the Obsy Flesh. I don't know if he's going to jump me very hard, so I climb up here just in case. Obviously, he can't use his axe or anything there. And we've managed to ward him off quite well as a team there. Now that this guy's pushed pretty deep, I'm happy to go closer. That's a Weaver. I consider it for a second, but there's no real need. This is a good target. Take the knockdown. A good burst, and from that we knew that we scored the kill because of the icon on the minimap. So we got that, and we need to get back on the node because of the druids. So it's been pretty good on from my perspective so far. Here I see this guy's self-rezzing, so I come on over. He rogues me instantly, and I attempt to put the flame wall on the body and miss. You can't blame me. It was a weird line of sight there, and he's likely to just use the 2 to get out of it anyway, but whatever. At least I forced him to. The Hollow comes forward, but is pressured a little bit. Here there's the shockwave. I take the time to dodge away from it, because I always underestimate just how far those shockwaves come out. I'd also, earlier, I could pause and show you, but I was really hoping he'd Photon Blitz me towards the node, and I'd preemptively reflected, but he didn't, and then he chanced one here, but I stayed out of range of it. We get the kill. The Scourge is supporting really nicely. He's got Big Shade down here from San Savant, and now he's going for this res. It's blood. So we've got to be careful. And a rally goes through. So even here on post-commentary, the light is hitting my screen in such a way that I can't see the party health very well right now. I don't know how that rally went through. I wasn't aware of that in the moment. I'll openly admit. I'm not watching every single little moment all the time. So anyway, he rallies. And luckily I have FGS, so I can secure that kill. Take the stump. We can think of those 15 seconds as free roam capacity for me. In theory, in truth, one of our members of the team was dead as well. But I used those 15 seconds for a decap and come back up before re-equalizing this fight. Looks like our team was doing pretty well here as well. So we put the Scourge down, head towards the node, and see that another rally is about to happen, that there's a stomp guy, and I can't do anything about that. So then I immediately do a 180, and what I'm doing here is getting ready for this guy to stand back up. So the pressure we do right now is really useful for killing him again quickly. I have a Chaos Storm as well, though, so I chance the Chaos Storm stomp. I have Aegis. This is really bad. Oh, God. I have Aegis. I could blind with the 3. I can blind with the Arcane Wave. I go with the Arcane Wave. Now, listen, that's a really bad use of that cooldown, because obviously I had this other stuff, and maybe soon I'll get more attentive to... I know that Chaos Storm gives Aegis. It's just, is that a thought pattern that comes up in the moment for me? Not right now, no. The reason I go for the wave is... why that's my intuition. You might think, why is that even your intuition? It's because of stuff like stomping ranges where you're also blinding a pet and you're stopping the CC, and it's because of stealthed people, attempting a variety of shenanigans that they might be in the area. You know, it's just the fact that it's the AoE blinds. That's why it's kind of the thing. I even, I double blind there. That's okay, though. You can be kind of spammy with that. Anyway, what was important about all of that as well is that the guy never rallied, so that's what I'm actually mostly thinking about in the moment there. I'm not thinking about how efficiently I was using my lines and stuff. Oh, so here's a cool moment. This is one of the reasons I wanted to make this a game of the day. So one of the other things I've been trying is to incorporate some of the other elements a little bit more with fresh air. Water, I sometimes dip into, and it's really only for a single, of all 5 skills, it's really only for a single cooldown. It's the Comet. And you can use that at certain scenarios, mostly res and stomp attempts, to interrupt and fix things up. On core fresh air, which I haven't played for a long time now, I'm using water all the time very effectually. The truth is, Shatterstone has been buffed a ton, and I need to get used to using it a bit more. I think it can actually be quite nice. This used to be, on core, a pretty nice way of chasing people, though I don't often find that situation. And the mix is terrible, alright? There's so many terrible mixes and Weaver Element things here. But, so, I'm trying, alright? I'm trying to see what use I can get out of this stuff. So I've got water here, and I've dropped the Mudslide, or I can't even remember what it's called, right? But I put that over the body. And do you see this 201 damage? I think that's the Mudslide. It does basically nothing. Mudslide is actually a dagger ability. I'm well aware of that. This is like a Jaya, I think. Or maybe that's a staff one. Anyway, what made me really happy here, because then we just go to our regular burst, is the credit for the kill was the Earth-Water mix, okay? Which, if anything, is more of a Condi ability. And that's not, got its own problems. So you never see this, ever. I love rare skill icons. That's a rare skill icon. And so this made me over the moon. And yeah, so then we see the Druid comes in for a res, and we burst that. We keep out of range of the Hollow. He goes Photon Forge. We drop Swirls because of Photon Blitz. And now he's kiting out, which is correct. And I absolutely would do as well. So now I'm looking towards this node here. And you might say, WP, why are you pushing far? I'm not actually really thinking about the node at all right now. Can you see my camera's like here? Because what I'm actually looking at on the minimap is that I have a Mesmer. I haven't verified his health at this point in my mind, which is probably bad. I should probably see he's in a weird place, and obviously in a fight hunting someone, or being hunted. And then I should check the health to figure out what the situation is before I decide to assist. I haven't done that at this point, but the reason I'm really coming here is for the Mesmer. And then I think he's coming back, but then he's clearly not coming back, so I go, I'm not really even looking at the Scourge or anything. The Scourge should be marking me and stuff right now. So you can kind of criticize some of the other stuff here. Anyway, so it's the Hollow, and he looks like he has been hitting my guy a bit. But, the Hollow, no player reason. This is the kind of thing that we've all been this Hollow before. We're barely getting out of gate, and we're just, like, fighting people in weird places, and pluses are coming in these odd locations. Like, this is the most annoying thing ever. We've all had this situation, right? And it's really frustrating, so you should seek to do that to your opponents. So yeah, I save, I don't know. I make sure we secure a kill where otherwise we might not have, because the Hollow would have just kited through the door, which is what you see he was clearly trying to do. Now, I can 2v1 the Scourge, and how easy is that? I don't have to risk some stupid 1v1. I can 2v1 the Scourge with the Hollow. Remember, the fight is always more important than the node. This was hardly related to the node, and by securing that with my Mirage, I've unlocked an easy win over here. It's the #1 thing that most people are bad at in the game. They just don't realize. So this guy stomped, which maybe you can argue is a good idea because it is right on their spawn. But anyway, so I engage and I realize he's not here yet, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" So then I turn around, and now here we go. And look, he's on GS as well. What a compliment for this build. He can stack a ton of Vuln on there. Has got his own kind of burst windows. When I watch the Great Swords go down, I can do my own thing. And yeah, so anyway, we kill that. And look how easy. Do you know why that was easy? Because I didn't look at the node initially. So anyway, he got feared, and I kind of want to support that again in a minute, but we'll see what we do. Looking towards mids, we do already outnumber it, but my guy's low. He goes down state there. So I cast an Arcane Wave here, and you'll see that I cast it in the middle of all the stuff. That's to cleave all the clones and everything out, as well as the player. Now, naturally, they spam a lot of stuff out anyway, but hey, we've got a core guard to kill the rest of them. Swinging right the way through the map here. Probably looked at minimap and saw that my Mirage friend from earlier is fine. We look to this. So this is a duelist who's been 1v1ing. I don't really know how long, but it's a Weaver. So to kill a Weaver, we have to watch for his dodges. I'm going to watch for a specific combo of water through earth. And if he doesn't do it for a while and then there's a dodge, I'll burst him. But always after a dodge or some kind of evade. And if it's one of the skill-based evades, I know another one's coming, essentially. Or he'll do something really weird that will tip me off that he's got no cooldowns. So we wait, and I'm just standing here, right? I'm not even in combat right now. He uses this. I'm just waiting for it. Churning Earth as well. If he did Churning Earth, I would have burst him. But instead, he lightning flashes. Because he did Earth 4, which sometimes they roll into Churning Earth. If they're just like cycling through PvE cooldowns, which is what tipped me off to say that in the commentary there. Instead, look, he lightning flashes. Now, why would you ever do that? It's gonna be because you're low on cooldowns and it's not looking very good, right? So as soon as he does that, I just go on him, and we get the kill. My Mirage also went very aggressive. Probably not necessary. And so, yeah, the game's pretty easy right now, isn't it? You know, we're double their points. And then some. And we've just secured again. Definitely not looking like a game of the day, is it? But we will lose our grip on the game in a second here. So I come forwards to offer swirls against this hollow here. This guy's standing still, which is fine. He's basically looking for the line of sight, and then he's going to go for the aggression in a second. The shield prevents me doing anything too good. And then I realize that people are dying over here, so I do a very quick turnaround, and I see that we've got a problem. So this is the beginning of the end here. Are you guys ready? So we've got to kill this Mirage to res our friend. So I go for the Comet there again, trying to incorporate a little bit of water maybe. And then as soon as I see he gets his symbol, this is my best window to do this. I don't have swirls. Swirls would have been really nice against the staff stuff there. When he jaunts in and does some stuff, I take my Twist of Fate. We're just being patient with this right now. And now, you see how I've waited a long time to Obsiflesh? Now I'm going to do it. It was like a lick too late. If I did it just before the shower, it would have been really nice. Anyway, while invulnerable, we are immune to these things. And now we see he's really low. And as he ends this animation, I just throw an Arcane Wave at my feet. And we use an Air 2. And we kill him. We get the res. So that's good. Meanwhile, I think a 1v1's re-established on close. And back here at the node, the hollow is pushed through with this ranger, and they've managed to score a kill. So while I'm rezzing one guy, another one goes down. And over here, we still have this down state. So I cleave that out, and my friend doesn't rally. Let me rewind ever so slightly. So we res... that's not enough. Hold on. Further back. When we score this kill, okay... and we've got a kill of our own now. At this point, if you see this guy's low, I see that he's low about now, and he goes down. And what I'm hoping, I could immediately turn and hit this, but the thing is, this guy wasn't a part of this fight. We've just watched how this dies. So we can't guarantee that our friend will rally when this guy dies. We can't guarantee that because he's not been fighting it. And is he too far away to tag it from here as well? That's the thing. Also, he's a Mirage. I didn't know he was a Mirage. He could have been anything in the game. I was thinking more in terms of like auto attacks, like throwing dirt or the hollow autos or the hammer, the rocks from Wario, that kind of stuff. But, you know, that's all about 900 range. Is he in range? Is he not? So as I pull away here, we got the hollow, and then the hollow starts shooting me. So I have to obviously dodge here. What we're hoping for is that this guy will target this, and then we can cleave it. Here, he's used his downstate too, and the RNG has favored him, moved him closer. So we just ward off the hollow for a second, and now I'm like, okay, you've had enough time. Let's see how it looks. Because the nightmare scenario here as well is if I leave this any later, the same situation is happening in reverse. The enemy Mirage could tag my Mirage, and he could rally. So we take it, and they both just die at the same time, basically, through the way that worked. What really does frustrate me is I'm pretty confident that if I hadn't done that, this dude was smart enough to rally, while my dude I don't think was. In any case, the range is really low here, and stealths. I've got an auto on him, and I'm watching my character model to see if it's turning, and it is. So we know we're still tracked, and here we see we get a little proc of Fury, which means we were still hitting him, and his dead body appears here. So if we're struggling for this fight here, I I've just realized that what I do with the FGS here is going to be a big mistake. But we've been neutralized elsewhere, and our rampant advantage is evaporating, despite the fact we are steadily winning it. So anyway, this guy goes down, and I FGS. This is the first of this game. And I think he's next to the wall, so this is why it's such a good choice. Whenever I see, like, if there's a body or something near some terrain, it's always a really good thing to go for. So I'm going to try and use the skill 3. But in truth, I mean, I move in a weird place here, but I don't do much damage. I only do like 3,000, 4,000 with it, which isn't good. And because I don't get that kill, this Scourge manages to get in it and get the res ever so slightly, and then the pet comes in, and Ranger downstate, as we all know, is kind of insane. So then I cleave through again, and we kill the pet, I think. And we hit this to try and push them away, but we've got a real problem here in that we're starting to get quite low on health. The Hollow's shockwaved me and is rightly pushing very hard. I get swells up right before the Photon Blitz, which is perfect. A Reflect would have been even better. But yeah, so now we get this guy down, and here's a mistake of mine as well. I'm still pushing for this with the Elixir S. Not a good idea. I should be straight back on that Ranger, like right now. I guess it's... And here we can see he's just resurrected his pet. Here I'm going to try and CC the pet by targeting it and using Gale. But ArenaNet, for some obscene reason, decided that a pet deserves to be invincible for like 5 seconds or something crazy. Maybe it's only 3 seconds. It's some ridiculous amount. So you kill the pet, and they just... I don't want to get into how much I hate this. The Core Guard could save it right now by banishing the body away from the pet. But I take the CC, and I get invulnerable. So that doesn't do anything. The Scourge comes back in on basically no health as well. I take the Obsidian Flesh, and I'm just trying to cleave. I'm also trying to position myself in such a way that we can get through them all. But now the Mirage is on me, and the Ranger's up. Whew, the Core Guard kills the enemy Scourge, which is nice. And one of the enemy Scourges. I pressure the other one. But now this guy's gone down. The Hollow's low. Look how volatile all of this is. We have a downstate body. This here. This Hollow really low. But now our guy threatens a rally. So I'm cleaving this. This is a rally race. They're hitting this, and I'm hitting this. They go for the stomp. And, let me rewatch that. Let me rewatch. So I have a choice, right? A little bit earlier than this, before my initial 12,000 damage, I could have gone for a stomp. And I could kind of safe stomp it with a blind on the body, but, you know, a point-blank shot from back here, a shockwave... Anything could have, a diversion could have interrupted me. So, and Fresh Air does so much damage, I often prefer going for the cleave. Because even when there is a rally, they rally on low health, right? So, I don't know. And you know, I'm using Doom at the same time. Well, Doom doesn't really matter too much. But anyway, I choose to go for the DPS. While they choose to go for a stomp. And there was quite a long window for me here. And it's close, you know. In the end... We do very nearly get it. I mean, after that last 4K, he was maybe on just a couple of %. But now they've rallied, and I think that's a double rally for them as well. So I can kill it again, just as I described. You know, we've cleaved it hard enough. But now I'm you know, how long have I been going here and trying to unload that pressure? We take the Vapor Form and climb up the grave just to delay for a second, but they're rezzing again. So, yeah, this fight has been a really long fight, but it's been terrible for our team. A couple of kills either way, and we haven't had map control. Their dueling's been better so far. Our Guardian's not doing anything at the gate. How long has that been like that? Maybe it's just because he's typing in chat for now. I don't think he's been AFK for a long time. So yeah, now obviously that's our Core Guard, right? We've been watching him a lot. So with that, and maybe you could peg it all on my decision with the FGS before. Some of you guys will watch this and be amazed that I don't stomp as much as I do on this build, but when you play this build, you do realize that you have so much damage potential to quickly kill things when they're not being rezzed and whatnot. I do stand by the fact that it's got fairly low cleave. It's just it's quite often the less risky play. Anyway, with that, with the whiffed FGS, the rezzed Ranger, all of that stuff, we've actually been basically 3-capped here because they've got very good hold in mid. They're close that we're not aggressing, And this is the last node that they almost have. I come in and offer what damage I can. I give this guy swirls because he's low. I take the res. I think that'll be fine here because my trait's procced, so that'll save me from the jump shot. So we get the res. I twist a fate and I go back towards the base. That guy pushes in instantly, which is crazy. I get a combat break from that, but there's no opportunity there, right? The guy that I just rezzed wandered back in and insta-died, and a Mirage on the roads is dead. There's, like, it's a dead end. There's nothing I can do. So I'm going to go and help mid instead. You can always tell, guys, because you should be looking at the minimap and just seeing these resurrect me icons. So there's the 3 cap I was talking about. Coming into mid, and they've scored a kill. Good on them. And they've just gone down, so can I rally it? I try. You know, I put the poison on there. And this was a really good demonstration of Doom, actually. We now have 2 ticks, right? But if you watched a lot of that res a second ago, we actually did slow down quite a lot, which I was pretty happy with. But I can't do anything now. You know, they're rotating in from the other fight. So I have to basically just chain dodges and flee. Now, I've got Mirage following me. This is bad because they're very sticky. Luckily, this guy's on staff, not sword. So I think I make a mistake here. What I should have done is keep rotating to the enemy's close point, our far point, and I would have had help here in the way of this guy. Instead, I opt to run back over here where I guess I figure there's more opportunities maybe. But, you know, they hit so hard, and, you know, I'm running cleansing as well here, and we're getting some stuff off. Anyway, here's the mage. These mages, you'd think their cone is like this. It's more like this, all right? This is a terrible cone. So I actually blind the mage deliberately as I'm fleeing. I suppose I could just kill it as well. The thing is, why is this low health? Sometimes they're not low health, and one animation is not enough. I actually blind the mage there, and this miss... That's really important. So anyway, we're just going to keep chaining super speed, and we're just trying to restabilize. Again, this is a situation where if the Mirage can't kill me, it's not the worst thing in the world because I have paired him off at least. So I've just turned the game into a 4v4. You know, it's not useless. It's just a net 0 me running away, and it's a net 0 him chasing. That is assuming I can escape. So here we take the... Arcane immobilize to refresh air, immobilize him, and move. That little maneuver you just saw there with me immobilizing my chasing opponent and fleeing with super speed, that is the entire reason we pick up an entire specialization line, almost. I mean, there's some other nice things about Arcane, obviously. But, goddamn, man. So we run all the way through, and now the Nightmare scenario... The idea is if you're running for that long, that your team is re-established, threatened the opponent, so they don't have the luxury of you know, ganging up on you. But my team hasn't managed to do that. This whole time, nothing good has happened. We still have no nodes. The enemy team just equalized on points here. Look at that. Look at our lead squandered in what feels like moments. And worst of all, I have the Hollow has now traded on for the chase. So pretty lame, but some fortune favors me here. He kills me. Sorry, he's shooting me low enough that as I fall down here, I actually take 2 ticks of full damage. I think that only happened because of lag. Because I didn't jump off or anything, and I've walked off that before and not got in combat. Anyway, and that kills me. And that is good. That's actually fortunate. That's nice, because what that means is I'm not going to be left, like, rotting and bleeding here for ages. And I can respawn really quickly. So yeah, that's a bit of a frustrating moment. That's usually a sign that your team is being dominated. If you're fleeing a lot and then it becomes like a 2v1 as you're fleeing as well. But yeah, probably a mistake. I could rewind all the way back to before and maybe gone to my Mirage and taken a 2v2 or something. Anyway, so with this respawn, our team's done pretty good now. We've got Waterfall. It's an equal game now, you know. It's literally like the game's just reset. We've got a big mid fight going on. Each team owns their close point, and mid is Newt. So we see what we do. We take a big Phoenix. We aim the Druids. The Druid pushes really far away, so I try and take a Lightning Flash around to stop the obstruction. But he's also then Staff 3'd and evaded. So good on him. He's still alive there. And I've just wandered back into this Mirage, who, in theory, could start chasing me hard again, which is exactly what he's doing. So we take the early cleanse, the immob. We reflect his own pistol stuff. I mean, I wonder if this patch will actually go down in history as a patch that nerfed Mirage. I know that there were nerfs, like with Jaunt. Jaunt was really the major one. And maybe the Staff Ambush to an extent. Anyway, so now we pressure the Scourge. But we can't, you know, we've got to be cautious about this. We've got to pair up with our core guard as best as possible. I've ran really far. Yeah, okay, so this was a bit of a mistake as well. I bailed out too far. I think the clones scared me off a bit too much, which is bad. I remember in the moment that I was here, I was thinking to myself, oh, I need to be there right now. Because what I can do is fire a greatsword on that. And the summon of the sword actually does some pretty good clone cleave. We get the 3 and manage to break down that body. We get mobbed by the druid, but it's not too bad. We twist a fate. Okay, so now I make another big decision. If you look at the point score, because they flipped mid there, they have double cap. We only have 1. We will lose the game. We don't have a thief or someone who can rotate properly, and I don't trust that any of my team will, but I've just given myself a fiery greatsword. So, let's rewind. I come in, I clone cleave, and we make sure we get the start. Here's the big moment, right? We get the kill here with the fiery greatsword. So we can make a play. The 15 seconds I was talking about before, you can kind of think of mathematically. So I take the lightning flash up here, and I swing straight to waterfall. And what's nice is we can use the FGS mobility. So the FGS 3, super speed. When super speed runs out, we use the 4. When the 4 runs out, we give ourselves the second packet of super speed, and we're here instantly. This is only for the neutralization, and then we have to win the fight. So what I look at here is this. If my team was really low, this is a very natural instinct for me. If I was seeing downstates, people were low, I would stay and take full cap here. But because I see that we're still, which is the less useful play, or that's not what I want to see. Obviously, you don't want to see your team dying, right? But so they're healthy enough and booned enough that I'm thinking, right, I will go for it. So instead, I take the newt, and it's all about winning this mid fight now. So we push through. This really frustrated the hell out of me. This is a free decap here, and I've just watched my last guy wander off of it. Now he's dipped back on. We get a good res here, and we cast the 5 on the body, and it's near the terrain. But the FGS disappears. It doesn't matter anyway. We get the stomp. So with that res, with a bit of downstate body pressure, with a kill on the end there, with the neutralized 2, their Scourge comes in late. Big punish because their Scourge comes in late. And we managed to win this last team fight. Now, still looking at this, you might think, oh, WP, it's still dangerous. But I'm actually breathing a sigh of relief at the moment. I feel like I've won the game now, because I feel like that was a really important fight that we just swung, and that now they're dead. The thing is, they are trickling in a little bit. Once again, they're down. Look at that. Is that not a ranger that's bleeding there? Again. It's not a ranger, is it? I don't think it is. What was the other thing we killed? Anyway, here I blink forwards because I want to do the extra pressure. Now, this is their spawn, so we do have to be careful. We just got to ward them off. The enemy team does still have a few more points than we do. We scored this kill. Sorry, I'm losing my sense of the game. I have no memory of this part of the game whatsoever. I have no memory of this part of the game. So we're pressuring the body once again. A little bit of Doom poison there. That one doesn't actually help too much. I mean, it's a double pet res. These druid reses are really, really, really potent. I know that search and rescue on res isn't actually a druid thing, but yeah. We take another kill. This guy's porting all over the place. Oh, yeah, I remember now, actually. Yeah, the druid does really well here. Stealths in this area in the middle of the fight, and then rushes off to neutralize. Beautiful. It's very rare. It's very rare that I'll actually say this. This is a situation where you can type in all caps in chat, "Don't fight on the roads." 100%. This is because we pushed towards their base too much. Which, you'll remember, actually, I didn't want to. The only reason I was coming forwards was because they'd taken the fight forwards as well. I was actually lingering at the back before I came. I was essentially supporting that engagement. This is where you can genuinely say, you know, that was not good. Okay, no, there was a whole other wing to this game that I forgot about. So now he's taunted me. This guy scored the kill and is leaving, and I don't know why. I can't stop a pet plus druid res on my own. What? Not after being taunted and then knocked down by a smoke scale. This guy is I think this guy's trying to kite away, and he's running from clones. They're clones. So I can't do anything in mid now. That's it. We can let our soul beast contest it, and maybe plus this. So now my clone fleeing ally is going back into mid. And I'll plus this. So same situation as before. Wait for something to burst him in. On this occasion, it was him using the... What's it called? Anyway, the water earth mix, I think it is. Which, it looks a bit like a pistol whip, essentially. And you know you can get some damage with that. So we managed to get that. And secure close. It's a vapor form, so he'll stomp that out. Now we've got slightly more points because we're going to get another 5 here just on kills. We've managed to claw our way forward a little bit. Back into mid, where once again the team's been doing okay. The Mirage is super low. We burst this. I mean, this is really... Getting that plus on close, coming in, getting this here. All these little peanuts of points have ended up being really important. So, here I kind of wanted to port up, to be honest, and kill him, but I didn't have the cooldown available. I stand here and make sure we get the cap. I'm also chaining the auto. The holo comes on, and it's a valiant effort. He even overcharged shots me off, which is also very cool. But at this point, I mean, look at this, actually. To tell you the truth, who was it that I left at close? He's rotated off of that, which is insane to me. It's insane. We're so vulnerable to getting decapped here. Anyway, we get the full cap on mid. With this kill, it will obviously be an extra 5 points. And now we win the game. So, yeah, really swingy game where we had a very, very strong grip on it, and then we lost it completely. I had 2 deaths in the middle, where it was just so bad. I wish I'd actually clicked timeline today. That would have been very cool. But yeah, we're 20-2, 3 revives, all of them pretty good actually, I think as well. It looks like the UI is kind of bugged out on the 3 there. It almost looks like a broken 0, doesn't it? And another cool thing to note about the stats here, by the way, is the percent of team damage I did, which is only 19.9%. So, I mean, I'm 0.1% off of 20, right? There's 5 people and we don't have a support. So everyone should do about 20%. And I'm about bang on 20%. I'll tell you, when you see that you're, if you're, you know, pulling damage, when you see that you're at 20%, and this trends over a full-length game, you know, we were in the last minute there. When you see that, you know that people have generally done well. I can't say that I carried this game necessarily. I may have got the crucial kills at the right moments, but that's what you sign up for when you play this build. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I actually really like seeing when I get as low as this, because it's actually extremely rare. That's not like a brag or anything. It's just the kind of roles and playstyles I play, I guess. But what you'll find is the vast majority of your games, or this happens to me, you're nearly always 25 plus getting into 30s. It actually really aggravates me when I'm like over 30. Win or a loss, obviously even worse if it's a loss, because you just know no one else has really been putting their weight. But what's kind of cool is when the games start getting higher rated, that does tend down, and you know that everyone is actually working quite hard, and you do all generally get closer to the 20% margin. So something fun to watch as you're leaguing. I'll see you guys next time.